Let me move this closer, actually. Maybe you hear me better. Okay, let's do this again. Hello, guys. Welcome to the first episode of Mother to Mother. I am so excited to have you guys here. I'm so excited to be doing this. I don't know what you'd call it, like project or this next phase of my life. And yeah, so let's just get right into it. I'll first introduce what this whole thing is. So, Mother to Mother is like a community. There's multiple platforms that we're on. So on all social media, it's a blog and it's also a podcast. And essentially it's a place for mothers to come and gather and focusing on sharing stories and lessons for each other, to be there for each other, to learn, to gain wisdom, and all this type of stuff. So that's what that is. And I'm really proud to be doing this. And I think the first episode is basically just explaining me, who I am, and not really me, but more my motherhood journey. I'll put it like that. So I became a mother at 19, and boy, it has been hard. It has been tough. I have been tested, okay? But I am falling in love with it more and more. Recently, I feel like God's probably been calling me to stay at home with her. I've got a daughter, she's just turned 3 this past weekend, to stay at home with her. And that's very, very difficult considering I run a business. I run a coaching company and I have clients from different parts of the world. So that's been really, really challenging trying to schedule all of that. But glory to God, He always makes a way. And I have lots of family help to be able to still be able to run that. Now, I want to say it has been very, very difficult becoming a mother so young. It has been very, very challenging. And I think the most challenging, the biggest part of myself that motherhood challenged was definitely my identity. Because I don't believe at 19 you have an identity to begin with. So it's like when you're trying to form it, how much of motherhood takes up the identity. Like, number one, the biggest change was my body, like my physical appearance. Motherhood took that skinny old body and it filled me out, child. And to be honest with you, my daughter's turned 3 and I've only just started being like, okay, I think I'm pretty. Because for a long time, I felt like it had stripped me of my beauty. It has stripped me of like my youthful look, you know? And it's because I really didn't understand or like my body. And of course, the go-to thing is to blame social media, but for real, all you snapback queens, get a room. Because I feel like a lot of women that I knew snapped back and I didn't. And I was very upset and I was very angry with myself. And for me, I started having a lot of issues with my hips, right? So like walking, especially even after I gave birth, became very painful, stretching, all that type of stuff. So to even do physical activity was just, it was grim. So trying to find that new love for my new appearance, naked and clothed, yeah, it's taken me a while. It's taken me a while. The other side, I think, was maybe friendships. I started feeling so jealous of people, like really, not like jealous, like I didn't like them anymore, but like thinking, wow, did I just throw away my whole life? Like, I can't go do this and I can't go do that because somebody's saying mama. And I felt like, oh my gosh, I've thrown my whole life away. And it's not easy. It doesn't make it easier that people tend to look at you and talk to you like that. But when I didn't have the opportunity to like stay out late and do this and do that because I started living with my daughter alone, I started falling in love with different things. So when she was in nursery, I started going to different places. Like I started going on walks, I started going to the gym. I fell in love with lifting weights, by the way. I don't have much gym time anymore, but I fell in love with lifting weights. I started really like getting into arts and museums and stuff like that. So it was like, because of motherhood, I guess a different part of my life kind of like opened up. Um, Sorry, I should have planned, but because the first episode, I don't have a guest, I just thought, let me just come and just chat, make you guys feel comfortable that you're coming in to the first time, just getting a feel of my personality because I'll be hosting the majority of the next couple of episodes, but I do have some special guests that I have invited. So we will have different people on almost every week. I think I've got like 3 or 4 amazing women who are doing like motherhood-esque careers already, like lined up to talk about some interesting stuff. So yeah, that's essentially for me. I think that's the struggles that I found, the challenges. Ugh, gosh, I think there's so many I can list, but I also want to go into how it really helped my identity, man, because at this point in time, I can't lie, I could not imagine not having Alicia. I really could not imagine it. I feel like I have become so assertive. I've become so um like really able to structure my days, really able to put together a plan and execute because I have to. If you don't get that nap, you're gonna ruin my day. So now I have to sit down and plan a day where you get to nap and then later on you get to eat, you get to sleep at the correct time, and having these schedules and then knowing what time to clean and knowing what time to work. I had to make I say it was a difficult decision, but it was a difficult decision of picking my career path because, of course, at 19, it's kind of like, everybody's going to uni and type of stuff. But I did end up going. But I just thought to myself, I really want a career where I also get to stay at home with her and get to watch her grow, and not something that's so demanding. And like what I was going to study was going to be super demanding and was going to end up in a situation where even after school, when she's finished with school, she may still have to go to childminders or back-to-back sessions. So it was like, okay, I want to make money, me, I like soft life, I like cash, I want to make money, but I also want to see you grow. So dealing with that, having her made me have to decide. I couldn't just be like, well, I'm gonna try this and I'm gonna try this and see how this works out. I had to quickly realize, okay, if this is not working, you need to drop it. If you're not interested in school, you need to drop it. If you want to run a business, you better run that damn business. You cannot afford to be flip-floppity. So, yeah. And something else I think that this is just random, but it's just come onto my spirit, is having Alicia definitely challenged all the parts of me that weren't healed. Like my trauma, my childhood trauma, things that I was afraid of, they definitely surfaced in taking care of her. I realized that I am so avoidant, and particularly of physical affection. I don't like to be touched. I really don't like to be touched. I don't like to be hugged. I don't like to be kissed. Like it makes me feel very, very uncomfortable. uncomfortable. Um, and it used to just kind of like shut me down and make me feel very claustrophobic. But anybody who has a young child knows these creatures love to cling. They love to cling. Like, they don't want to let go. And I found that I really had to start like getting past that, getting past all of that. Like, no, 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 don't touch me. No, 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 no. Because I remember it during pregnancy, honey. I've One of the things I've had to learn through these 3 years is definitely how to bond with my child. That's going to be on one of the episodes. How I've learned to bond with my child, because I had so much guilt and shame around the idea of being pregnant young that I just did not see it as a good, like I didn't feel in love or happy with my child, with the situation, with the circumstances. So I just kept feeling like, oh my gosh, my belly is that huge badge of this girl. She does premarital sex every day. Like, especially being in a Christian family and Christian community, it was just that tag of, hey, she's a harlot, this one. Yeah, teenage pregnancy, she's a statistic. Um, and that was very, very difficult. But of course, moving away from, learning to bond with her, but definitely addressing, my own things that I feel like I didn't get in childhood, and realizing that if I didn't get it, I need to give it. And unfortunately, because I didn't get it, I don't know how to give it. So having to really learn, like I have this amazing woman that I watch online. I'm gonna have to tag her down in the description on YouTube. But she's a parent coach for parents of children from, I think, 2 to 16. I don't know, 2 to 10, something like that. But she has been so helpful in truly like just understanding my own child's behavior. I had this child walking around with me all the time, but I was consistently irritated, snapping, just being quite horrid, I think. Because number one, I felt so out of my element. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I know how to feed you, I know how to clothe you, I know how to drop you off at nursery, but I don't really understand you. I don't understand what you need. I don't understand how to nurture you, how to love you, because the situation I grew up in with the situation my parents were in, they were focused on feeding me and clothing me. And I had cousins and a sibling, so it was kind of helpful. We would go into our own worlds and give each other those other feelings. But my parents primarily were consistently like working and hustling and doing all this type of stuff. So now I have my daughter, and I don't really have to hustle, but I do, but I don't really have to. And it's like, okay, I see how not being hugged all the time, not being kissed and touched and, like affirmed, I know what that's done to me. But it's like, I don't want it to happen to you, but I just don't know how to do that to you. So having my daughter has definitely gotten me out of that shell, learning, watching those videos online of how to listen and how to calm down a situation, how to not escalate. Because, if you shout at a toddler, a British toddler, they will show you that. They will show you that Great Britain doesn't belong to you. They will show you that you too can very easily be put inside the system, okay? Especially me and my nosy neighbors. Oh my gosh, I got nosy neighbors. I don't even want to get into it, but so to be honest with you, I think for me, another thing is I have found motherhood a bit isolating. And I know everybody says this, but it is really, really challenging. It's really, really challenging in this like, I don't even want to say in this world, because that's not true. I think particularly in England, it's like to be part of these motherhood groups and motherhood communities or this and that, it's like you have to pay cash dollar. And I don't have like I'm not I don't have it like that, okay? You know, it's soon come, but do I really have this over here and this over here to be taking you to this place and this place because we're having a meeting here, we're having a thingy there? It's very difficult. And also, like, because I became a mother so young, having other mothers who are like in a similar position, like, it's all good and well for me to talk to another mother and be having her, telling her my issues. But if sis is married, if sis is, like over here, new house, new car, new this, it's like, I want to clap for you, but I also want to be you at the same time. That's not my circumstance. So sometimes it's really hard for you to get what I'm saying, where it's like, I'm tired, and you're like, yeah, I'm tired. She had to go with her dad yesterday. And it's like, no, it's just like, I'm tired. Like, I'm that type of tired where I don't even know if it's me running the show right now because me is asleep. Like, me is asleep. Somewhere in here I'm sleeping. The Lord put me in what do you even call it? I don't even know what the word is. And I think, yeah, it's hard to get people who kind of really relate to your certain situation. And I think that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to do this community, to create Mother to Mother, because it's like I want people of all walks of life to be able to come and chat and share their experiences. I don't want any kind of like, unfortunately, there is this kind of thing of, married mothers, single mothers, young mothers, old mothers. Like, everybody has a stigma. Like, oh, so you became a mother at 40, you're in your own lane. You became a mother at 16, you're on your own lane. And it's like, but we're all sharing the same experience though. Like, in a way, we're all still going through this beautiful and traumatic thing to our bodies. And at the same time, that thing is also trying to be taken from us and not called motherhood, but be called parenthood. And as you can really tell, I'm not really for that name swap because motherhood is beautiful. Motherhood is age old, it's ancient, it's spiritual, it is divine, and I really feel like it should be kind of kept that way. So I really want like the safe space for us to be able to talk and chat and talk about these experiences, you know, like what I've just spoken about with me and trying to be comfortable with my own child consistently touching me. I want to be able to talk about that and people not be like, yeesh, you don't want your own child to touch you. No, Barbara, I don't. Okay, it's very, very difficult. I want to be left alone. I want to go into my own room and watch Netflix. Um, and so having that kind of conversation, not just making it look all beautiful, but then also just not making it look all terrible. Like, I consistently see, I don't know if you guys are aware of like the list on TikTok. It's this woman who every time a mother complains about something, she will like capture that video and then capture a video of herself writing down on like on her notes. And it's like it's I think it's even like hundreds of reasons as to why to not get pregnant or have kids. And personally, I'm not with that. Like, I'm not with the fear mongering of motherhood and what it's like to have a child, but I'm also not with the glorification of child rearing. It's really somewhere in the middle, to be honest with you, because there will be some days where you're literally like, I love them, but I want to give them back to God. And I want to give him back to God today, like, and go back to old me today. And then there's other days where you're just like, I made you. I'm so in love with you. I just want to cuddle. I just want to, I just want to. It's like you're so obsessed with them. And that balance is what I want. I want good stories. I want bad stories. I want good days. I want bad days. I want real conversations about what your body went through. I want real conversations about what your sex life was like afterwards, honey. What the girls were like afterwards, honey. This is a safe space, okay? No mans over here. Okay, we don't want any mans over here. We want women to be able to be raw and authentic and to be real. So if you want to come on the podcast, this is your invitation. I don't care if you have 100 followers or you have 10,000, 20, 100,000 followers. I want mothers. That's all I want. I want mothers. It's a weekly podcast for mothers to come, chill, talk, kiki, you know, the situation. And I think some episodes I do want to talk about some of the things that'll be going on in like, not, I want to say in the media, but like some of these like trending videos you see of some of the like baby mama, baby daddy kind of I don't even say culture, but some of the drama that happens within that and how people are kind of like navigating living with those stigmas and with those tags. Like, what is dating like in a world where people tag you as baby mama, baby daddy, stress, drama? Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Especially like even things like when you have a lot of children. I've been watching a lot of videos where people talk about what it's like to say I have 4 kids and like the looks people give you and stuff like that. It is so vast, the experiences of us women, but we're all joined by the same thing that we created people. And that's what I want to honor, a space where we talk about how we created humans and how we're living with that. And, you know, like what we do, how we get by. Um, I think this is as deep as I wanted to go for the first episode. It's really just an introductory episode for you to kind of get to know who I am, where I'm at, my mentality. Um, Yeah, I also do other stuff. If you're interested in that, then you can follow my links below to, the other stuff. But if you're interested in writing for our blog, then please just email. The email is in the description. Something that you'd want to write about. And if you'd actually want to become one of the frequent writers and we can book a call, talk more about that. If you want to come on the podcast, also just email below or you can DM me. I think that's cool too. Yeah, you can DM me and we can just talk. So, mother to mother, I love you. Peace.